Deep in the emerald heart of Central Africa, a world pulses with ancient life. Here, in the dense, humid rainforests, live some of our planet's most magnificent creatures, gorillas. They exist in tightly bonded family groups, their lives governed by instinct, a strict social hierarchy, and the unending rhythm of survival. For generations, they lived in a world where humans were little more than fleeting shadows in the distance rare, unfamiliar, and entirely unpredictable. So what happens when these two worlds finally collide? What goes through a gorilla's mind during its very first encounter with a human? When a gorilla troop first lays eyes on a person, their reaction isn't one of instant aggression. It's a complex mix of caution, curiosity, and deep-seated instinct. The leader of the group, the powerful silverback, is always the first line of defense. His immediate response is to protect his family. You might see him rise to his full, impressive height, his massive shoulders squared, and perform the iconic chest beat. It's a sound that echoes through the forest, a percussive declaration of his presence. But this powerful display is widely misunderstood. It's not a prelude to an attack, it's a warning. It's the gorilla's way of saying, I am here, I am strong, do not come any closer. The silverback's primary goal is to de-escalate, to avoid conflict with a creature he doesn't understand. His chest beat is a boundary, a clear signal meant to prevent a fight before it even begins, while the adults, especially the silverback, are ruled by caution. The younger gorillas often have a completely different reaction for them. Curiosity frequently wins out over fear. Imagine a young gorilla peeking from behind the safety of its mother's leg, its dark eyes wide with wonder. They might stare intently, tilting their heads from side to side as if trying to solve a puzzle. Sometimes, they'll even mimic the human's movements, a subtle gesture of inquiry. They observe quietly, their minds processing this strange, new bipedal creature that has entered their world. Their behavior is remarkably similar to that of human children encountering something. For the very first time, a blend of being alert and cautious, yet utterly fascinated. This initial curiosity is a fragile bridge between our two species, a moment of shared wonder in the heart of the jungle. In these tense, initial meetings, communication happens without a single word. One of the most critical elements is eye contact. For humans, looking someone in the eye is a sign of honesty and engagement. In the gorilla world, it's the exact opposite. Staring directly and intensely into a gorilla's eyes is seen as a challenge, a sign of aggression. An unknowing human might accidentally trigger a defensive or even hostile reaction simply by holding their gaze for too long. Experienced primatologists and researchers know this well. They keep their gaze soft and indirect, often looking down or to the side. This simple act communicates that they are not a threat, allowing the gorilla to relax and feel less pressured. It's a silent language of respect, and mastering it is key to any peaceful interaction. Beyond eye contact, overall body language speaks volumes. Gorillas are masters at reading posture, movement, and energy. They are incredibly sensitive to the atmosphere around them. A human who is calm, moves slowly and deliberately, and keeps a respectful distance is far more likely to be tolerated. Making sudden gestures, raising your voice, or moving quickly can instantly shatter the fragile peace. These actions are interpreted as unpredictable and potentially dangerous, raising the tension and putting the entire gorilla family on high alert. The silverback may respond with more forceful warnings, like bluff charges short, powerful bursts of speed that stop just short of contact. It's his final attempt to intimidate the perceived threat into leaving without resorting to actual violence. Most of these first encounters, thankfully, end peacefully after the initial assessment. The warnings and the curious stares, the gorillas will typically make a choice. More often than not, they choose distance over confrontation. The silverback will lead his family away, melting back into the dense green foliage of the rainforest, disappearing as quietly as they appeared. These fleeting moments reveal a profound truth about these gentle giants. Gorillas do not see humans as enemies by default. They don't harbor innate aggression towards us. Instead, they see us as we truly are to them, a mystery. We are an unknown element in their predictable world, and their response is to observe, to warn, and ultimately to retreat into the safety of their home. This understanding has been transformative for conservation. Early explorers often misinterpreted gorilla behavior, leading to a reputation for violence that couldn't be further from the truth. Today, thanks to decades of patient research by scientists like Diane Fossey, we know that gorillas are profoundly peaceful animals. We've learned to approach them on their terms, using their language of soft vocalizations, indirect gazes, and non-threatening posture. This approach, known as habituation, allows gorillas to slowly accept the presence of humans, leading to incredible opportunities for research and ecotourism. This tourism, when managed responsibly, provides vital funding for conservation efforts, helping to protect these magnificent apes and their forest homes from threats like poaching and habitat loss. The first encounter between a human and a gorilla is a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between our worlds. It's a silent negotiation, a dance of curiosity and caution. It shows us that with respect, patience, and a willingness to understand, we can share this planet with even its most powerful inhabitants. These initial moments are not about conflict, they are about connection, a brief, unforgettable glimpse into a world so different from our own, yet so fundamentally relatable. The gorilla's reaction isn't just about survival, it's about a deep, intelligent assessment of the unknown. And in their cautious retreat, there is a lesson for all of us that sometimes the wisest response to something strange and new is not to fight it, but simply to give it space. Have you ever wondered what goes through a gorilla's mind when it sees a human? Is it pure instinct, a fight or flight response? Or is it something more complex, something more thoughtful? The story of how gorillas perceive us is a fascinating journey into the heart of one of our closest relatives, and it reveals a level of intelligence that will change the way you see them forever. When humans and gorillas first began to cross paths more frequently, we assumed their reactions were driven by simple, primal fear. A massive, powerful animal facing a strange, upright creature. Of course, it would be wary. But as dedicated researchers spent years, even decades, living alongside these magnificent apes, a different picture began to emerge. It turns out gorillas are not just reacting. They are assessing, analyzing, and most importantly, remembering. Imagine this. A team of researchers enters a gorilla's territory for the first time, the silverback. The group's leader and protector is on high alert. He might beat his chest, let out a deafening roar, or make short, aggressive runs. His goal is clear: intimidate these intruders and make them leave. The researchers, however, do something unexpected. They don't run, they don't shout. They sit down, avert their gaze, and make soft, grumbling sounds to signal they are not a threat. Day after day, they repeat this behavior. What happens next is incredible. The gorilla's brain is processing this new information. These humans are strange, yes, but they are not aggressive. They keep their distance. They are predictable. Over time, the silverback's fear starts to fade. He learns that these specific humans are not a danger to his family. This process is called habituation, and it's the first step in building a fragile trust between our species. Scientific studies have confirmed what these early pioneers observed. Gorillas possess remarkable intelligence. They can recognize individual human faces. This isn't just a vague sense of familiarity. They can distinguish between different people. They remember how each person behaved. Was this the person who always kept a respectful distance? Or was this the person who tried to get too close? A gorilla's reaction to you today is directly shaped by its memory of your actions yesterday. This ability is so sophisticated that gorillas can categorize different types of humans. Field reports are filled with accounts of gorillas distinguishing between researchers, tourists, and, tragically, poachers. They learn to associate the quiet, khaki-clad researchers with peace. They might tolerate the clicking cameras and hushed whispers of tourist groups as long as the rules are followed. But they react with intense fear and aggression towards anyone who resembles the poachers who have harmed their families in the past. Their memory isn't just about survival, it's about learning, adapting, and making calculated decisions based on experience. In peaceful environments, where interactions are consistently positive, something amazing happens. Fear is replaced by curiosity. Gorillas are naturally inquisitive animals. Instead of running away, a habituated gorilla might approach slowly, sniffing the air to gather more information. They might peek out from behind a curtain of leaves, their dark, intelligent eyes observing every move. They are studying us, just as we are studying them. The young gorillas, in particular, show this curiosity in the most endearing ways. There are countless stories of infant gorillas mirroring human actions. If a researcher scratches their head, a baby gorilla might do the same. If a person sits in a particular way, a juvenile might try to imitate the posture. This isn't just monkey see, monkey do. It's a sign of a deep cognitive connection, an ability to observe and learn from another species. It's a glimpse into a shared evolutionary heritage. However, this delicate trust can be shattered in an instant, the moment we act unpredictably. Their fear comes rushing back, a sudden loud noise, a burst of laughter, the bright flash of a camera, or a group of people crowding to close. All of these can trigger a stress response. The gorilla's world is one of subtle social cues, and our loud, often clumsy behavior can be incredibly jarring. This is where one of the most misunderstood gorilla behaviors comes into play, the bluff charge. Imagine a massive silverback, weighing over 400 pounds, suddenly running straight at you, only to stop short just a few feet away, kicking up dirt and vegetation. It's terrifying, and it's easy to mistake it for a genuine attack. But it's not. A bluff charge is a warning. It's a beautifully orchestrated piece of theater designed to say, "You are making me uncomfortable. You are too close. Back off now." The gorilla is using intimidation to avoid actual violence. It is a way to push humans back to a safe distance without having to make physical contact. True physical confrontations are incredibly rare and almost always a last resort, happening only when a gorilla feels completely trapped and believes its life or its family is in imminent danger. Understanding the bluff charge is crucial. It's not an act of aggression, it's an act of communication. The gorilla is telling us its boundaries, and it's our responsibility to listen. Perhaps the most profound discovery is the extent of a gorilla's emotional awareness. They are masters at reading body language not just of other gorillas, but of humans as well. They can sense our emotional state. They know when we are calm and relaxed. They can feel our tension and our fear. They can certainly recognize aggression. This incredible emotional intelligence allows them to constantly adapt their reactions. If they sense a calm, respectful presence, they are more likely to be calm and relaxed themselves. If they sense fear or hostility, they will become tense and defensive. This proves that their responses to us are anything but random. They are thoughtful. Each interaction is a complex calculation based on memory, observation, and an astute reading of our emotions. They are not mindless beasts driven by instinct. They are intelligent, sentient beings with rich emotional lives, capable of forming complex social relationships, not only with each other, but with us, too. So the next time you see a gorilla, whether in a documentary or perhaps one day on a carefully managed trek, remember what's happening behind those soulful eyes. You are not just being seen, you are being assessed. Your actions are being recorded, your emotions are being read, and your intentions are being weighed. The story of our relationship with gorillas is a powerful reminder that we share this planet with other intelligent minds. It's a relationship built on a foundation of respect, understanding, An humbling realization that we still have so much to learn. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the mind of a gorilla as fascinating as I did, have you ever wondered what it's like to meet a gorilla in the wild? For a long time, these magnificent animals lived deep in the forests, far from human eyes. But as wildlife tourism grew, something incredible happened. We started to enter their world. This wasn't a sudden invasion, but a carefully planned introduction, guided by strict rules. Think of it as being a guest in someone else's home. You have to be on your best behavior. The first rule of gorilla trekking is distance. A buffer of several meters is non-negotiable. Then there's silence. No loud talking, no sudden noises. Just the sounds of the forest. And finally, time. Encounters are strictly limited, usually to just 1 hour. These rules weren't created randomly. They were designed to make our presence as unintrusive as possible. Imagine the first time a group of gorillas saw humans approaching. Their initial reaction was, understandably, one of suspicion. The group's protector, the powerful silverback, would immediately place himself between the strange visitors and his family. He'd watch every single movement, his eyes assessing the threat level. Was this a predator? Arrival early encounters were tense, a silent standoff between curiosity and caution. But over months, and sometimes years, something began to change. Through a process called habituation, certain gorilla groups started to learn that these particular humans, the quiet ones, who kept their distance, were not a danger. The silverback's defensive posture might soften. The females might stop gathering their infants so tightly. This gradual acceptance was a monumental achievement in conservation, a bridge built between two species. However, this trust is incredibly fragile. It's not a blanket acceptance of all humans, but a learned tolerance of specific, predictable behavior. One wrong move, one loud shout, or one person getting too close could shatter that trust in an instant. The gorilla's willingness to let us into their lives is a gift, not a given. When you observe a habituated gorilla group, you witness a fascinating range of reactions. Some gorillas display a surprising level of tolerance, almost indifference. They might continue munching on leaves, grooming a family member, or even dozing in the sun, seemingly unbothered by the quiet observers nearby. It's a breathtaking sight, seeing such a powerful animal so at ease in your presence. But not all gorillas in the group react the same way. You'll often notice a few individuals, perhaps younger males or watchful females, who never take their eyes off the human visitors. They aren't aggressive, but they are vigilant. Their constant gaze is a subtle but clear reminder. Acceptance does not equal complete comfort. We are still outsiders in their home, and they are reminding us of that fact with every glance. This mix of tolerance and watchfulness shows the complex social dynamics at play. The relationship forged through tourism is a double-edged sword. On one hand, our presence brings tangible benefits. The money generated from gorilla trekking is a lifeline for conservation efforts. It funds the salaries of dedicated rangers who conduct anti-poaching patrols, protecting the gorillas from snares and illegal hunting. It also pays for veterinary care, providing life-saving medical intervention when a gorilla is injured or sick. In this sense, tourism turns gorillas into a valuable living resource, giving local communities a powerful economic incentive to protect them. Without these funds, many conservation programs would simply collapse. On the other hand, our proximity introduces serious dangers. The most significant threat is disease. Gorillas share over 98% of their DNA with humans. This makes them incredibly susceptible to our illnesses. A common cold for us could be lethal for a gorilla. Respiratory infections, measles, and other human pathogens can spread through a gorilla population with devastating speed. This is why strict health protocols are so important. Beyond disease, there's the issue of stress. Even in habituated groups, the constant presence of outsiders can elevate stress levels. Researchers monitor this through hormonal analysis, And the results show that even seemingly calm interactions can have a hidden physiological cost. Long-term stress can weaken their immune systems and affect their reproductive success. Then there are the behavioral changes. When gorillas become too comfortable around humans, they can lose their natural wariness. This might lead them to approach villages or farms in search of food, creating conflict with local people. It's a delicate balance, habituating them enough to support tourism, but not so much that they lose the instincts that keep them safe. So how do we enjoy these incredible encounters while minimizing the harm? The answer lies in responsible interaction. The rules are there for a reason, and they are non-negotiable. Wearing a mask is now standard practice on most gorilla treks. It's a simple act that dramatically reduces the risk of transmitting airborne diseases. Maintaining the prescribed distance, usually around 7 to 10 meters, or about 23 to 33 feet, is equally critical. This buffer zone gives the gorillas space to feel secure. It prevents them from feeling cornered or threatened, which is when they might react defensively, limiting the duration of the visit. To reduces the overall stress on the animals. It ensures they have plenty of time each day without human presence, allowing them to forage, socialize, and rest without interruption. And of course, staying quiet and avoiding sudden movements helps maintain a calm atmosphere. When these rules are respected, the results are magical. Instead of seeing a defensive silverback charging, you see a curious juvenile peeking from behind a leaf. Instead of a stressed family retreating into the forest, you see a mother calmly nursing her infant. The gorillas remain relaxed, and the encounter becomes a moment of mutual, peaceful observation. Ultimately, these interactions reveal a delicate negotiation, an unspoken agreement between two intelligent and powerful species. Gorillas don't tolerate our presence because they have to. They are more than capable of chasing us away or disappearing into the dense foliage. They tolerate us because, through careful and respectful interaction, they have learned restraint. Their reactions are a testament to their intelligence and patience. They assess the situation, they weigh the risks, and they make a conscious decision to allow us a brief glimpse into their world. It's a powerful lesson in coexistence. They show us that it's possible for humans and wildlife to share the same space, but only when we approach with humility, respect, and a deep understanding of our own impact. The future of these magnificent animals depends on our ability to honor that fragile. Have you ever wondered what it's like to meet a gorilla face to face in the wild? It's an experience that's becoming more common, but it's built on a very delicate and complicated relationship. As wildlife tourism has grown, so has our proximity to these magnificent creatures. This has led to the creation of carefully managed gorilla trekking programs, where humans are allowed into their territory, but only under a strict set of rules. Think of it like being a guest in someone else's home. You have to be respectful. When these programs first started, the gorillas were understandably suspicious. Imagine suddenly having strange, bipedal creatures wandering into your living room. The dominant silverbacks would immediately take charge, placing themselves protectively between the visitors and their family. They'd watch every single human movement, a silent, powerful guardian making sure everyone knew who was boss. Their posture, their gaze, it was all a clear message. I'm watching you. But something incredible happened over time. Through consistent, non-threatening encounters, some gorilla groups began to learn. They started to understand that these particular humans, the ones who followed the rules, weren't a danger. This process is called habituation, and it's the foundation of modern gorilla tourism. It's a trust that's earned, not given, and it remains incredibly fragile. A single wrong move, a sudden loud noise, or getting too close could shatter it in an instant. It's truly amazing to see how different gorilla families react even after habituation. Some display a surprising level of tolerance. You could be just a few meters away, and they'll continue with their daily lives as if you're not even there. They'll munch on leaves, groom each other, or simply rest in a sunbeam. It's a profound moment of acceptance. a sign that they feel secure enough to be vulnerable in your presence. However, not all gorillas are quite so relaxed. Others remain on constant alert. While they might not show outright aggression, you can feel their eyes on you. The silverback might sit a little taller, or a young male might peer at you from behind a bush. It's a powerful reminder that their acceptance doesn't necessarily mean they're completely comfortable. They are wild animals, and we are visitors in their world. Their vigilance is a sign of their intelligence and their instinct to protect their family. This relationship between humans and gorillas is a double-edged sword. On one hand, our presence brings tangible benefits. The money from tourism is a lifeline for conservation efforts. It funds everything from anti-poaching patrols that protect gorillas from snares and illegal hunting to vital medical care for injured or sick individuals. In many ways, our fascination with them is helping to save them. The local communities also benefit, creating a powerful incentive to protect the forests and the animals within them. But on the other hand, our presence introduces significant dangers. The most serious risk is disease. Did you know that we share over 98% of our DNA with gorillas? This makes them incredibly susceptible to our illnesses. A common cold for us could be deadly for a gorilla. This is why the rules during treks are so strict. Wearing masks, maintaining a safe distance, usually about 7 to 10 meters, and limiting the time spent with them are not just suggestions. They are critical measures to protect these vulnerable giants from diseases they have no immunity against. Beyond disease, there's also the risk of causing stress. Constant human presence can disrupt their natural behaviors. It can alter their feeding patterns, their resting times, and even their social dynamics. Imagine having tour groups walk through your home every single day. Even if they're quiet and respectful, it would still change how you live. Researchers are constantly studying these effects to ensure that tourism doesn't love these animals to death. The goal is to find a balance where we can appreciate them without harming them. So how do gorillas really feel about us? The truth is, we can never know for sure, but their behavior gives us clues. When tourists respect the rules, when they stay quiet, move slowly, and keep their distance, the gorillas tend to remain calm. They might even show signs of curiosity, especially the younger ones. They might peek at you, or even mimic a human gesture from a safe distance. This is a far cry from the defensive, chest-beating displays you might see if they feel threatened. These encounters reveal an unspoken negotiation happening between two intelligent and powerful species. The gorillas aren't just tolerating us because they have no choice. They are actively choosing not to react with aggression. They've learned, through experience, that restraint is a better option than conflict, at least with the humans who follow the rules. Their patience and their calm demeanor are not signs of submission. They are signs of incredible intelligence and social awareness. Ultimately, the story of gorilla tourism is a story of balance. It's a delicate dance between conservation and commerce, between curiosity and caution. We are drawn to them because they are so much like us, yet so powerful and wild. And in their calm, watchful eyes, we see a reflection of our own responsibility. They have learned to live with us. Now, we must continue to learn how to visit them in a way that ensures their survival for generations to come. The future of these magnificent animals depends on our ability to respect the fragile trust they have placed in us. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the world of gorillas as fascinating as I do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories from the wild. See you next time.